A video title that I can immediately relate with to losing my temper with my sister. Oh my goodness. Me and my sister had an explosive relationship growing up. Volatile even. Yeah, most of that is because like when my mom grew up, she was the only daughter. And they had like 6 boys. My grandparents had 6 boys. Their kids only had boys. And my mom was the only one to have a girl. My sister for a long time got whatever she wanted, but then also got a lot of stress too from that, about how to be ladylike and all that kind of stuff. They were really stressing her about like every decision because she was the only girl. And a lot of things that that we did together, we're only a year apart in age. So a lot of things that we did together, they would still treat her like the older sibling, even though, you know, for a long time I was a lot more mature than my sister was. Just with a lot of things that I want to do. And then with some other things, like when we got the Sega Genesis in my grandparents' house, it was the only electronic we could play on the farm. Either do farm stuff or Sega Genesis. So on rainy days, that's all we could play. And one of the first games we got, that Beauty and the Beast game with Bella, was one of the games that we got because of my sister. And if she's playing it means I would also play it. Now the game's lit, okay? But I'm just saying that's what it was. Or like when we was watching TV, we'd only have to watch stuff that my sister wanted to watch. Stories with my grandmother. That's not what everybody's watching in the house. Or when my sister wanted to take up archery, everyone now has to take up archery, regardless of what other projects you have going on, because they don't matter now. But just little things that just you always clash heads about, but you learn to get together. And one of the final moments when me and my sister finally got together and you know, got over a lot of our differences, we started cooking together, and we got a waffle maker. My mom bought a waffle maker, right? So me and my sister started making waffles, and me and my sister made, I think, 40 waffles total. We walked to the store, got ingredients, and made a tower of waffles that day. And that was great. We ate waffles for months. It was awesome. So, you know, there's the good and the bad, but it's great. But let's get into it, man. Let's see Young Don the Sauce Guy. We haven't been here for a while. Play.
Now I'm just feeling pure anger because I'm like, yo, you had me waiting there. I was worried about you. Why didn't you pick up your phone? She's like, I ain't have service. I'm like, so you didn't see? Where did you think I was? I don't know anyone here. I have nothing here. As a guy, you were one of either 2 kinds of boys growing up. Either you were the kind of boy that punched holes in walls, or you were like, I don't know, a dude that grew up to be like a functioning member of society or some bullshit. I don't know. Listen, if you've watched my channel for any period of time, you would know that I definitely do not fall into the second category. Now, I definitely had anger issues as a kid,
God.
so I know I acted out in several ways, but I can remember 3 holes specifically that I punched. You know, the other kind of hole, who knows how much.
That was disgusting.
The first hole, So I have a little sister. She's 2.5 years younger than me, and she's a very sweet girl. But trash at video games. I mean, she's good at like girly games, you know, like The Sims, Fortnite. I'm kidding about the Fortnite thing. This one time my dad bought me Super Mario Bros.
Dislike! Me and my sister beat Halo 3 together. So my sister used to be great at fucking video games. Every woman I fucking hang around ever learns how to play like Call of Duty or Halo or some shit. We not living together and you not learning how to clap with cheeks and some first person shooting bullshit. That's a requirement. And my wife is the best woman I know at Call of Duty. She just killed like 15 people today in a game when I wasn't even here. She out there just fucking niggas up. In a remake of one of the old Call of Modern Warfare 2 maps and shit.
Mario Bros for the Wii, right? And there are only 2 things you need to know about this game. 1, it's Mario,
it's hard as fuck.
So like that. And then 2, it had a 2-player mode where you could tackle the story mode with 2 different people playing at the same time. And it had this feature where if one character dies,
you can bring him back,
the other one can bring him back to life by popping their bubble. When you die, you get put in a bubble. And then if both of you die, then you're fucked. So me being the loving big brother that I am, and also having a crippling inability to handle losing, I invited my sister to play the game with me to help me get through the story mode. So we're playing the game, right? And we're playing a very hard level. I can remember that. And we must have lost several times because my blood is starting to boil, right? So we're running through the level, and then I die, right? So I'm in the bubble. And my sister had like the big Luigi, you know, like she had eaten a mushroom. So she's running around. So I'm like, hey, yo, no pressure, no rush, but when you get a chance, yo, let a nigga out of this bubble, right? I knew she wasn't gonna last long. And of course, she gets hurt, right? So now she's the little Luigi, right? So now I'm like, yo, all right, get me out of this bubble. We about to lose, yo. And my poor baby sister, she was like 10 or 11 at the time, right? With the weight of the world on her shoulders.
And you screaming, she's stressed out, get me out the bubble. She's like, I'm trying.
It happens. She dies. Bro, she dies, she gets in the bubble, and then she doesn't even look at me. So she knows she can't. She can't, she shouldn't. It would be bad.
You let me down.
I was like angry, bro. And my sister is not like having a good time. You know, like she's doing this just to spend time with me. Like she didn't even like Mario, nigga, but she took it so seriously because it was important to me that we beat this fucking game. I get up and I'm shaking, and then I just punch the fucking door. Now, the door was made of wood, and it was also hollow. So like, my hand just went straight through that shit, you know? So I punched through the door, instant regret.
Right,
because
how do you get it out?
My mother is still Jamaican, nigga. Like, she's definitely gonna come home and murder me and break my weed. So I'm like, fuck, right? My sister looks at me, is like, nigga, you gonna die. So now I'm just sitting there, still mad that we lost, by the way, but also scared because death is approaching. And then what I think I did is I found like a picture or a poster, and then I just like taped it up on my door. You feel me? Because I didn't punch all the way through the door. And I think that worked for like a while. I don't remember getting in trouble that day. My sister has a YouTube channel, by the way, where she tells this story.
Really?
That's what inspired this video. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. You can check it out if you want. The second hole was also because of my sister. This was a lot later though. I was like 22. YouTube had just taken off, so I was moving out of my friend's house in San Diego, and I was gonna get my own place in Austin, Texas. And in that in-between period, I stayed in New York with my dad, which is where my sister lives. So I'm in New York, crashing it on the couch, you know, because it was super last minute. And right before I'd left San Diego, I had gotten in a relationship with that girl, you know, the girl from the friend I betrayed story. Yeah, that girl. It was super rushed, got in a relationship with her. After like a month of dating, bro. I get to New York, you know, and now that I had some distance from her, you know, because when you're in it, you know, it's all like, you know, sunshine and roses and flowers and fucking, you know, good feelings. But once I was able to like get away from her physically, I could look at the decision and I was like, this was not the best decision. Wasn't quite ready to break up. I was getting there. We were arguing a lot, and I was just on edge. You feel me? Also sleeping on the couch didn't help. All this while trying to find a place to live in Austin, Texas, which, by the way, was a place I had never been before. So I was stressed, right? So one day, right, my sister was still in the middle of the winter school semester, and she needed me to take her down to the college so she could drop something off for her professor. So I dropped her off in front of the art department, but the way how the road was set up, it was like a one-way, and it was also like a one-lane street.
So you have to go all the way around.
I ended up blocking traffic. So what I would do is just drive around the campus and then pull back up in front of the art department.
Right.
I did this like 5 times because every time I came there, she wasn't outside and I kept blocking traffic. So I had to just keep going around, coming back, sitting, waiting, going around, coming back, sitting, waiting, and she's not coming out. So I'm like, yo, where is she? So it's been like 15 minutes since I've dropped her off. So I go and find a parking lot. I sit in the parking spot and I'm calling her because I'm starting to get a little worried. You know, she was just supposed to go in, drop some off, come back. So I'm calling, it's going straight to voice. So now I'm in big bro mode, okay? All right, I'm getting nervous. I don't like it. It's dark, winter time, 7 o'clock in New York. I need to protect her, right? I need to find her, and then I need to protect her.
Yo, this camera dies when I'm shooting this shit. I am sorry. It's getting apparently shot vids. It didn't replace the battery. That's what I'm blaming it on. So it's just gonna die and be dead, and the story will be unfinished, and you could be mad at me in the comment section, but I'm not gonna replace this battery right here that's blinking. You can't see, but it's doing its thing. And I'm gonna instead eat this chicken salad that's getting brought me for dinner. because I haven't eaten dinner. And I lost another 3 pounds yesterday from not eating. So I'm starving right now to death. So I'm going to eat instead. But yeah, all right.
That's just instincts right there. But my sister isn't soft, you feel me? And she had been living in New York for a while, so she had gotten that New York grit, you know, that New Yorkers have. So part of me is worried, but then the other part of me is upset, because there's a part of me that has this feeling that my sister is fine and she left. She just left some other way. It didn't make sense, so I was still mostly worried, but part of me was like starting to get suspicious. After like 45 minutes of sitting at this campus waiting for this girl to come back, I was like, fuck it, I'm going home. I called my dad to see if he's heard from her. He's not picking up. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home and figure this out. I get back to my dad's house, and as I go inside, guess who I see just chilling at the dinner table? My sister. So I'm like, yo, what's good? Where you been? She looks at me and is like, what you mean where I've been? I've been here, obviously. You hear that attitude? This wasn't my cute little baby sister that I played Super Mario Bros with anymore. You feel me? This was now a fully grown, young black woman from New York. Have you ever met a girl from New York? Bro, they're so mean. I don't know. They're just so mean. I hear this attitude, and all the worry that I had left over turned into anger. So now I'm just feeling pure anger because I'm like, yo, you had me waiting there. I was worried about you. Why didn't you pick up your phone? She's like, I ain't have service. I'm like, so you didn't see? Where did you think I was? I don't know anyone here. I have nothing here. I left the house because of you. You're home. I'm not home. What you thought was happening? She's like, my boyfriend picked me up. I don't see what the problem is. So then I was like,
I'm gonna finish it like this.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I go down into the basement, which is where I had my computer set up, and then I was like, I'm gonna just work through it, right?
That's smart.
And then I get a text from old girl back in California on some bullshit. I don't remember what she said. So now my blood is at like 11. And then I hear my sister upstairs talking shit about me to like her girlfriend. She's like, yeah, and then he came in and was all like mad, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is this problem. So now I'm shaking, bro. Like I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody. I'm going to murder my sister tonight. And I was just like so angry. So I just got up and then I just punched the fucking I punched the wall. I punched another hole in the wall. And instant regret, because my dad's Jamaican, and I was like, oh, he's definitely gonna come home and murder me. And back when my YouTube channel just started taking off, I was doing these like poster giveaways, and I had some, so I just
No, you didn't, dog.
I did the same thing I did when I was 13, nigga. I took a poster. My dad probably doesn't even know this poster is still on that wall. I've been back since then. It's still there. I took a poster and I just put it over the hole. So, Dad, if you're watching this right now, just don't take that poster down. You feel me? The last hole.
Alright, bro.
Was not because of my sister. No, this hole was caused by my ex, who had flown from California to Austin, Texas to visit me.
I'm so sorry.
But that's a story for another time.
Oh, the blue balls. Back to Young Other South God. Watch the intro or the outro, because I talk about stuff in the outro you want to hear. Alright, peace.